Welcome, Taurus, to A Brush with Magic Tarot. Today we're going to be doing a general reading for your sign. We're going to start your reading off with the Spirit Animal Oracle deck, and then we're going to draw a couple tarot cards. Then we're going into the Shaman Dream Oracle and the Sacred Ripples Oracle. All right, let's see what message Spirit has for us today. All right. Our first card is Lizard Spirit, number 38, Dream the World into Being. So let's see what our little book here has to say about that. All right. Lizard Spirit. When was the last time you basked in the sun and allowed yourself to daydream, to imagine what might be and who you might become? Lizard Spirit appears when you are called to let your imagination flow and dream something new. Inspiration is available to you now if you're willing to slow down and let your eyes close a little, allowing ideas to dance in your head. What might come into being if you were to pursue your dream? Who might you grow and expand if you allow yourself to dare to believe in the impossible, making it possible first in your dreaming mind and then in a world as a co-create with spirit? Give into the power of imagination, and soon your dreams will become clearer. The steps will reveal themselves, and what was ephemeral will begin to coalesce into form. Dream it and be it. Spirit asks you to dare to dream big. What a great message. All right, so let's go ahead and pull our first three cards here. We have Three of Swords, the Hangman, and the Four of Coins. Now, this is a general reading, so if the message doesn't resonate with you, then leave it behind for someone else. And as the cards come up on screen, go ahead and use your own intuition to see what messages and what your intuition can be picked up, all right? So the first card we have is the Three of Swords, which is a very heartbreaking card. It usually is about just loss or betrayal. And then we have the Hangman, which is all about putting ourselves into new perspectives. And this is a major arcana card, so this energy can be very prominent energy, and it could be something that you're very that you're very aware of, or just kind of there in the background. And then we have the Four of Coins. All right, so just by what I am seeing here, the Three of Swords with the Hangman and our Four of Coins, it seems that we are moving on from a loss or betrayal. This is probably something that has, even if it hasn't necessarily happened recently, it has definitely affected us in a very big kind of way. There's definitely heartbreak. This could be a loss of a loved one. This could be just a loss of just someone close to us in the form of like betrayal and having to distance ourselves. It could be a breakup, but regardless of what the actual betrayal is in life, has very heavily affected us, and it definitely has a strong lingering effect. See that it's just somebody that we felt that we could trust, or an abrupt loss that definitely can just hit to the core. It's not just about the wrongdoing, but it's what was left behind. But we have the Hangman here, which the Hangman is all about putting ourselves in positions so that way we can see things from new perspectives, or from a new point of view. So it seems that this Three of Swords definitely triggered something to happen, to where we were kind of forced to look at things differently, or to put certain things into perspective. So this is a pretty strong energy, and like I said, you're either going to be feeling this incredibly strong, or you're just kind of aware of it in the background, but definitely seeking out. And the thing with the Hangman is that you're willingly putting yourself in that situation, as far as seeking perspective, seeing the world differently. And a lot of times the events that happen in the Three of Swords can kind of push us to reevaluate, or to rethink things. Maybe your family's done something very, like, in a very traditional way for so many years, and then a tragedy happens, and so you're kind of forced to rethink everything, to look at things differently. Maybe a loved one has been lost, and they were kind of the glue holding the family together, and so just having to reevaluate a breakup. This is definitely very on brand for kind of a breakup energy of just, you begin to go back through and try to look at things differently and figure out what happened, or the harm, or any of those things that have affected you in that way. And then we have the Four of Coins, and the Four of Coins is very much, the coins are an abundance card. However, with the Four of Coins, we're definitely kind of hanging on to things pretty tightly. We're holding things close to our chest. So almost as if, we've had this hurt, we've had this pain, and you're trying to recover, you're trying to move forward, but there's still that hesitancy there, whether or not it has to do specifically with the lost, or even just the realization of, things being brought into perspective, right? And not knowing exactly where to go, or how to proceed. And maybe you have an idea of how to move forward, but you're still kind of on unsure footing here. But that is, that's going to be okay. It just really feels like, and in this Four of Coins card specifically, you have this woman with her coins, and she's just brought in by this vulture, and it's just, she looks so unsure, so scared, and it really does feel like it's as if you are aware of the things that need to change. You're aware of, you've gained the perspective enough to where you know how to move forward, but it's such foreign territory, I feel like, that you really don't know how to proceed, or you have a general idea, but it's so unfamiliar that it's a little intimidating. And this could be with anything. This could be with business. This could be with a relationship. But I definitely feel like it is, whatever has happened in your life is definitely leaked into other aspects. So maybe it's your business relationships, maybe it's your personal relationships. Four of Coins is, our coins are definitely about abundance and, moving forward in, in the material aspect of our life. So, maybe this is definitely, more about, regaining your confidence in who you used to be, or even discovering that for the first time, when we have gone through a lot of loss, and especially when it's abrupt loss, all of a sudden we begin to have really unsure footing in just every aspect of our life. And a lot of times we find ourselves in these cycles of self-sabotage, like, even if it's not in the sense of a relationship, if we don't have good relationships, even in our careers and our professional lives, as we try to push forward, more often than not, we do things that we self-sabotage ourselves, not realizing that it was this betrayal, it was this Three of Swords that really affected us to the point where, we're so unsure of ourselves, and we kind of do this subconscious self-sabotage of not really knowing why we do it. We just do it, right? Like, you might feel the need to go for a promotion at work or start your own business, and you just have all this ambition and you're just so excited about it, but then something kind of stops you, which, as far as you as a Taurus, you guys are very loyal, very, you have the people around you, and you're so loyal to them. But it feels that you've sacrificed a lot for that loyalty, and not even really realizing it until maybe just recently. And maybe that's what this betrayal has done. It's kind of made you realize how valuable your loyalty is, and that not everybody deserves this loyalty. And so it feels like it's just, you're definitely headed in the right direction. It feels like you've gained this courage to just, to dared to look at things differently for the first time. And I feel like this may be a very unorthodox thing for your family or the people in your life to do, to really take it in and do some of that shadow work, look inward and try to figure out why you do the things you do. Because this Four of Coins can be very much about your work, but it also could be about your relationships as well. Of just, there is something that is affecting you in a self-sabotaging way, and you're not sure why you're doing it, but you're daring to look inward and figure it out. And it feels like that is very much not what your family has done, or your life, in your life circumstance, the people around you, they just don't understand that process, or the benefit of doing something like that. So it definitely feels like, though, that you're definitely headed in the right direction. This time of the season with like all the eclipses that have been going on and Mercury retrograde, people talk about how it's very chaotic energy and it's kind of crazy, which sure, some people definitely can feel it more than others. However, it's also a time to reflect and let go. There are just in this time of chaos, we're kind of told to sit back and wait. And during this wait, going inward, reflecting on the things that are holding us back and figuring out how to let it go. Now, that's kind of the harder part, is digging down deep and trying to figure out exactly what that is. But through deep reflection, doing shadow work, that's kind of how you figure that kind of stuff out. And it can be very uncomfortable, for sure, to do those things. But I know for you as a Taurus, you guys are the bulls for a reason. And I think you'll find very quickly that even though it's uncomfortable, it's very beneficial, because it gives you the answers to the questions that you have about yourself. And you'll be able to better understand yourself. But I think also it will definitely help you better understand what happened in the Three of Swords, that you can have a new perspective on it, and to be able to have an understanding to the extent of, understanding the why behind it. Now, in no way, shape, or form, gaining this knowledge has anything to do with, forgiving the people that have really hurt us or have done real harm. Use your own intuition and discernment to know what relationships are worth keeping and which ones are not safe. Definitely be very mindful of those things. However, in our healing process, by understanding the why, it does allow ourselves and our subconscious mind to be able to understand better, which then in turn does help us letting it go. Because when people talk about like, forgiveness is for me and everything, but a lot of times people kind of have this condemnation of just like, oh, well, if I forgive, that means that person is allowed to come back into my life, or that person is allowed, no. And you don't even have to forgive if you don't want to. However, if you do decide to forgive, that does not mean that you now have given this person the right to have the privilege of being in your life, or have the privilege to be back where they used to be. I hope that makes sense. But when it comes to betrayals, when it comes to loss, when it comes to certain things like that, in my experience, that's when it becomes very important about protecting your peace, right? And there are very many losses in this world that it's very hard to do that. A loss of a child or a parent or somebody that you love and hold very dear. But I feel that when we lose people that were more harmful to us than good, it then becomes very hard to navigate it, because there's so many things left unsaid. So just as you're navigating your loss, as you're navigating the hurt and the betrayal, just be kind to yourself and allow yourself to not feel guilty about the emotions that might come up with that, especially as you're beginning to explore yourself and understand you know, why you do the things you do, and the uncomfortable situations. So just be kind to yourself and try to be gentle as you proceed. But this is definitely a beautiful healing energy, and it is an energy of abundance and bringing in that that new, you know, and learning how to get past the fear that's there. And just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean that it's wrong. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I had to say it that way, that just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean that it's wrong. Yeah. So let's go ahead and draw 3 more just to kind of get some advice. All right, Spirit, let's see what advice we can give to Taurus. Oh, yeah. Okay, we have the 6 of Wands, the Page of Coins, and the 7 of Coins. You know, so I know that the first part of the reading could feel like a little grim and everything because we talk about pain and heartache, but this is just beautiful advice. Look at this. You have the 6 of Wands, which is all about just, you know, having public recognition and accolades. Page of Coins. Pages are always about new and fun adventures. 7 of Coins, all about cultivating, you know, and being in it for the long haul. So I just really see your advice being just, you know, just because you're trying to heal and you're trying to move forward and you're drawing all this good stuff in, don't forget to just live. You know, we want to be out there with our friends. We want to be noticed. And I feel like as you heal yourself and as you look inward and you do the shadow work and you press forward and you dare to dream big with yourself and not hold yourself back, that you're going to find so much joy. You know, don't be afraid to get out there and be noticed at work, or put yourself out there on, you know, social media. Take pictures, you know, like if you're the type of person that doesn't take pictures because you're just like, oh, I don't like the way I look, or there's something, you know, you find something negative about that, and so you don't post things on social media because it's not perfect. You know, post those pictures, show yourself off. A Page of Coins, go on new adventures, especially like if there is something in your heart that you've been meaning to do, whether that's like a new business or going for a certain career or job or going for that promotion, you know, put yourself out there and don't be afraid to be seen, which I mean, Taurus usually isn't that kind of energy, but just, I feel like when it comes to, you know, just us as people in general, like we feel bad for taking credit for the hard work that we've done. And because we don't want to seem like, oh, I don't want to seem like I'm, you know, full of myself. And we want to give this feeling of, oh, I'm humble and I'm a team player. Like, no, you know what? You are absolutely allowed to put yourself out there and be like, look at this great work I've done, and to celebrate yourself. And the Page of Coins is definitely about taking on new adventures. So it's very possible that some of you even have a new, like maybe you thought about starting something new just recently, new career, maybe changing careers, and just taking that chance and opportunity that you never would have thought of before. It has presented itself, so now you're actually thinking about it, you know. And I feel that as you go through your healing process and you kind of get back in touch with, you know, who you are at the heart of yourself, that you're going to know what moves to make. You're going to feel more confident, and you're going to take those chances and not be as afraid. And we have our 7 of Coins, which is very much about the long commitments. You know, it's like kind of reminds me of a farmer that will grow his crops, right? And you do all these things, and it's a slow process in the sense of, because you're cultivating something new, but in the long run, you're in it for the long haul. In the long run, it's going to bring so much beauty and abundance and just really great things. And I feel like there's like lots of creativity here. So let your creativity show, you know. And I don't know if this is like a new creative project, like, you know, like a book or art or anything like that, but even just in like how you go about your normal 9 to 5, like being creative and not, you know, and putting yourself out there. in a creative way, absolutely. And not to be afraid to do that. So yeah, I feel like your advice is just to be a little bit more bold and not be afraid to be seen, and to have faith in yourself, trust in yourself. Dream big. We got lizard spirit, so absolutely daydream a little bit and do the possibilities. And as you're working through that hurt and that pain, what you want out of life will become clearer. And it might take some time, but that's okay. So right now, just have this energy of just, this energy of play, almost like that, just trying new things and really putting yourself out there in a very positive way. Yeah, it's overall, it's a really great energy that you're working through some pain for sure. And you might be a little hesitant to just kind of throw yourself out there, but definitely don't be afraid to, to put yourself in that perspective, to see things from a new angle. So that way, you're going to find yourself down paths you would have never thought about originally, right? Isn't it like, when we like have this idea of like what we want out of life, and then we're like, oh, we really, really want that thing, that idea, that dream, and then we don't get it. But then like later we realize that it's a good thing we didn't get that thing, kind of like, when people talk about when, what is it? When God closes a door, a window opens. So it's kind of that same concept, but just, we might think that we know exactly where we want to go, but God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, usually knows best. And so to just kind of trust the process and don't be a little bit more fearless in that, and figure out, definitely go through those, through that reflection to kind of figure out where the sabotage comes in. And even sometimes just a lack of confidence. And as you work on that, you're going to find so much more confidence in yourself, and you're going to feel just so much more, more sure in the direction you're going. But yeah, what a beautiful, beautiful message. We just love that for you, Taurus. Okay, so let's go into the Shaman's Dream Oracle. Oh, goodness. Okay, so we have number 1. So if you've been seeing ones, which that is a great number, new beginnings, a tidy house, clarity, and organization. Just recently got my office organized, and it feels great, which having the energy to do that, it does not come around often, I find. Okay, a tidy house. If your emotional world feels messy and unruly and you can't seem to get clear, it's time to see how your environment is affecting you. Although your inner world has a huge impact on what shows up in your outer world, the reverse is also true. You can be influenced by the people who pollute your daily life and the energy and objects you surround yourself with. Basically, everything in your surroundings. Now is the time for an inventory and full clearing of your environment. Ask for clarity from your relationships and do not make assumptions at this time. Clear and unabashedly communication is key. You may choose to let go of some people from your life when it shows. You may choose to let go of some people from your life when it shows up. This is a good thing. Otherwise, you might stay in these relationships too long out of a sense of obligation or loyalty and social construct that is that when in truth there is nothing holding you together. Be impeccable with your word. Say what you mean and be willing to make whatever changes are necessary to clean up your side of the street. If you know you are doing the right thing, it doesn't matter who has an opinion. That said, right now, once you are sure your proverbial house is a tidy one, there is a release of energy to begin new things, to enjoy life, and know with certainty that you are on the right path. Very much, yes, definitely. It pairs so well with what was said before. Just very much about, doing that inward work and figuring out, where you need to let go. Because this is a good season for letting go. All right, so the Sacred Rebel, number 23, defend to the end the worthwhile. All right, So this is number 23. So let's go to 23 here. All right, defend to the end, the worthwhile. Beneath the illusion, pretty as they may seem, you know what is real. Beneath the lies, sweet though they may sound, you know what is worthwhile. All that is genuinely and truly essential for the heart to throb with life is worthwhile. Anything that dulls it or suffocates its vibrant aliveness must be questioned, challenged, and more than likely cast aside, for the heart is our key to living an authentic life. What is there once that is compromised? Without its foundation of truth, we are to be forever lost in confusion, doubt, and despair. You are a sacred warrior, a defender of the heart. You have cried genuine tears of your own grief and also the grief of the world. You have ravaged at injustice and oppression in your own life and in the world. You have felt the need to protect the presence of love, for whilst it is exceptionally powerful, it can be too easily be smothered under lies and fear. This sacred warrior must not heed the dangerous voices that say, "Oh, stop being so sensitive. Stop making such a big deal out of things." Love is the bigger deal than there is. What else is worth being so sensitive about? The sacred warrior is vigilant that the presence of love is not chipped away for fear, criticism, doubt, or untruth. Even if others find the unflinching honesty of your feelings difficult to handle, even if those feelings are expressed with gentleness and compassion, the sacred warrior honors the task of being more faithful to love. That is everything. This includes the fear of loss. Actually, it includes the fear of anything at all. This oracle brings guidance to honor even the smallest steps in your path of the sacred warrior. They are no less important than the most noticeable or dramatic action on the path. One single misstep can begin a landslide of great devastation. Being vigilant with what is meaningful and what is truthful, even in the smallest and seemingly most insignificant ways, strengthens the sacred warrior and prevents darkness from getting a stronghold from the inside. That darkness will be intelligent and sneaky. It will tell you that it doesn't matter, that this one time you can forget about what you promised and you are just one person and that you can't make a difference anyway. That darkness will lure you into a sleep, oblivion, and dull your light if you allow it to. The sacred warrior within will fight with love and honor to be true to what has meaning and never, ever allow it to be cast aside, even if it seems easier in the moment. The sacred warrior feels joy and humor in life to prevent the seriousness of the task from stifling the heart that just wants to live and be free. That joy brings strength to the warrior and an expanded, relaxed awareness that can sense the presence of fear, whether it is masked as anger, hate, or doubt. And immediately respond to with fierce compassion. The sacred warrior will always allow fear to gain a stronghold within the heart. This oracle has this specific guidance for you. You are being asked to stay strong and stand your ground. This might be in a big emotional journey. It feels like the fight of your life. It may be in a matter that does not seem to hold much importance. Perhaps, for example, you are contemplating an idea that you feel could be something, but those around you declare it is nothing. Too impractical, too little, or too much. However, what is happening, or soon will be happening, is worthwhile. So hold on tight. Ask for help through the healing process below. Stay tuned to the sacred warrior of love, and you are the sacred warrior of love that you are, and defend to the end all that is worthwhile. So I will be posting the healing process for this oracle in the description. So if you would like to go and do the healing process yourself, you may do so. Well, that was an absolutely beautiful reading, and I hope that you have found this reading helpful. If you would like to stick around for more readings, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. Maybe leave a comment and tell me how this message resonated with you. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!